The Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser is going to be crazy expensive. We know that for a standard room, it costs between $4,800 and $6,000, and that's on the low end. My question is, how much is the mid-range room, and really, how much is the captain's quarters, the big, giant 8-person suite? Today, I've invited on a travel agent who deals in this kind of stuff to chat with me, and we're going to kind of guess and speculate over what we think those prices are going to be. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm back and I'm talking about the Galactic Starcruiser yet again. Guys, it's crazy expensive. I know it's crazy expensive, but I'm going to save my pennies and I'm going to work extra hard and reward myself by going to this thing and sharing it with all of you. But I know it's going to be expensive, but I was looking at pricing and we only have pricing for standard rooms. And I had this crazy idea that maybe the Grand Captain's Quarters, it's like, I think that's what it's called. I believe, yeah, Grand Captain's Suite is what it's called, is a 2-bedroom suite that sleeps up to 8 people. So I had a feeling that maybe if you were to max capacity all 8 people, it wouldn't be a whole heck of a lot more than, let's say, you just had 2 people in a standard room. So today, like I said earlier, I've invited on a special guest. And we're just basically going to chat here and kind of figure out, I'm going to present my guesses. She's going to present her information. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. It's a little bit different kind of video, but here we go. All right, everybody, I've got a special guest. You can see here Sara J. Mack. You can find her on Instagram at Sara J. Mack. Now, I saw Sara, you were doing some reels recently. You were doing a lot of reels on Instagram, like at least one a day for like 30 days or something like that. There's some really good Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars ones. I actually learned a little bit about what you do with travel agency and booking people's Disney World vacations. And so I kind of just kept that in the back of my mind. Like, okay, hey, because to me, I don't go to Disney World often. I go to Disneyland. And it's pretty simple. But Disney World is overwhelming to me. Like, as far as having to book all that stuff and get it all prepared and fast passes. Now it's a little different with Genie Plus and whatever they're doing. But
right.
Seeing like you post like, oh, you can get a travel agent and it doesn't cost you anything extra and they can handle a lot of the extra work and hassle, because that's really kept me from kind of wanting to go to Disney World. It's a lot. It's a lot to like do. So that's kind of my understanding of you and what you do on the internet, and share some really cool reels. But yeah, give us kind of a rundown if there's anything I missed.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up. So it's completely free to use a travel agent. The vendor, so Disney in this case, actually pays me. So whether you use a travel agent or not, you're already paying for one.
Gotcha.
And I can handle anything like dining reservations. We used to plan like fast passes, things like that. Any special like fireworks events, anything. And really just like helping you schedule your day. And so that way it takes the stress off of you. You can have the fun and do whatever the fun parts are that you want to do, and then let me handle the rest of it. And if anything goes wrong, God forbid, during a trip, you just let me know and I handle it for you. I get on the phone and call them up and take care of it. So
that's cool.
It's very nice.
That's really cool.
But one fun fact, you were mentioning that Disneyland is this and Disney World is this. So I actually did the math recently. You can fit 51 Disneylands inside Disney World.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That is crazy. That is crazy. Jeez. I knew it was big, but wow. I mean, it's a whole
massive.
city. They have like buses and monorails everywhere, and it's like, I've only been twice. I've like once I went, and it was like I think it was a high school graduation present, so I didn't do any of the booking. I was just a guest, and it was like nice. And then the other time I went was with Disney Maker Studios, flew us out there to do some creator conference. And again, similar deal. I had someone driving me around the whole time. I didn't have to think or do anything. I just had to show up, be driven to the place I needed to be driven to, and just like, I was just like a zombie, like, yeah, go, cool,
That's
we're here.
lovely.
It was really nice, actually. It was really
That's
nice.
Life.
I was like, this is great. And I'm like, I can't do this on my own, though.
Yeah, getting a driver and all of that would be, I mean, you have Uber and Lyft and
and they got the minivans and stuff. All right. But with all of your knowledge and everything I figured you were probably the perfect person to at least run my ideas, my numbers about this Galactic cruise line. Run them by you and see what you think, and kind of, you already prepped some really cool infographics that you guys will be seeing on the screen here as we talk. And yeah, I looked through them real quick, but I didn't let them change my numbers. So I want to tell you what I came up with based on what we know. And I already know it's a little different from what you did, but I like it. Because my overall hypothesis here is the standard room, if you book a standard room for the Galactic Starcruiser, would it come out to like $6,000, something like that? I'm trying to pull
If you're
it back up
maxing it
here.
out, yeah, it's 6,000.
And if you don't max it out, if it's just the double occupancy, it's
It
even
goes down
more.
to 4,800. No,
Okay,
it's less.
but it's more per person per day.
More per person, yes.
So my theory with that is, if you say max that same standard room out, it becomes less per person per day.
Correct.
So my thinking is that with the Grand Captain Suite, the big bad room out of the whole ship, if you max that out with 8 adults, it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be it's going to be like, I feel like, I don't know about worth it, but it won't be as crazy, hateful, expensive of a jump if you max that out versus the lowest end standard room double occupancy. My guess would be it'd be a couple $100 more per person per night.
Okay.
That's where I started. That's what got me thinking about this whole video thing in the beginning.
So how did you get to that point?
How did I get to what, of just thinking that? Of just
Of it being like a couple $100 more. I want to see like where your mind went and where my mind went.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the sample room rates. So I started with 2 guests per cabin at $4,800, and then max $6,000 if you want to max it out. 4 guests per cabin. They say 3 adults and 1 child. For 4 adults, might be a little bit more than that, I'm guessing. So let's say between $4,800 and $6,000 for a standard room. We know that there's another room right above that that's got a little bit more space to it, and another window. I think is what the Galaxy class suite still just sleeps 4 passengers, so same occupancy number. But it's got, it's just got an extra window, just a couple little extras. My guess is the range. Oh, does it have a bar?
It does have a bar.
It does. Okay.
I believe so, right?
I'm looking at it right now. Integrated seating area.
Yeah, bar area.
Oh. Okay. Double vanity bathroom, bar area, and 2 windows. So if the one was $4,800 to $6,000, and one thing that I want to bring up also when we're talking about this price, they specifically mentioned between August 20th and 9/17, which is like the lowest of the low range, I'm guessing. Like, this is the lowest price you will ever see for the Galactic Starcruiser. It only goes up from there for the standard room. So I'd hate to see what peak summer booking is. But it's so funny, like, not the day it opens, this specific day at the lowest time of year, like, they're funny how they do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're smart, though, because it is a big number, and that was a big controversy when they released these numbers, so
which is what this Grand Captain Suite is going to be ridiculous. So,
for sure.
4,800 to 6,000 for the standard. My guess is the next one would be between 8 to 10,000 or 8 to 11,000 range, depending on if you're just 2 guests all the way up to 4, is what I was thinking. If we do 10,000 by... If it was $10,000 for the mid-range room,
yep,
so 10,000 divided by 8 people. No, it's not 8 people. It's got to be 4 people. It's got to be 4 people. Okay.
And that's the interesting thing, is that the standard cabin can sleep up to 5 people, but the middle room, the Galaxy class suite, can only sleep 4.
That is interesting.
I believe. Let me
double
check.
Yeah, no, you're right. 4 to 5 passengers on a standard cabin, and 4 for the Galaxy class suite. That is really interesting. I wonder why you lose a person.
That room for the bar.
Gotcha.
And the extra window.
Worth it.
Right. Sleep on the bar.
So even if it was 10,000 though for that middle room, and you do 4 people, it ends up being $2,500 per person, or $1,250 a night.
Right.
So that ends up being about, let's say we're again looking at 4 people versus the 4 people for the standard. They say $750 a night. So now we've bumped it up to $1,250. So about $500 more for the next highest room. So if the range for the middle room, like I said, was probably, I'm guessing 8 to 10,000 ish around there, then I was thinking the Grand Captain Suite would be something around 15 or 16,000 for the 2-night trip. And so you do that, and that would be maxed out though. This is my thoughts. Is you take the 16,000 and you max that out. My mouse is being funny here. And you divide that by 8 people. And you get 2,000 per person, which ends up being 1,000 per night. Now that seems a little low. That seems like, no, you're going to pay more than that. You're probably going to end up paying somewhere around, I don't know, 2,500 or something is my guess. It's like 2,500 per person times 8 people. That sounds so much. $20,000 sounds like so much for the Grand Captain Suite. For 2 nights, $10,000 a night? Like, no wonder they wouldn't release numbers like that. And I'm still like, I'm trying to be conservative with the pricing and not like go too crazy. But It's Disney and it's Star Wars. Those are 2 of the most like expensive brands out there.
Oh yeah.
And they know they can charge and get whatever they want for it.
Because there's fanatics that will pay. We will pay that money. We'll be like, all right, I'm gonna be there.
No, like I'm gonna have to sell one of my kids. It's fine.
Yeah,
his grades are going down. He's a teenager. He's got bad attitude, so. I'm half kidding.
Incentive,
I'm half kidding.
Like,
I'm going by myself. I'm going by myself. I'm going by myself. They don't like Star Wars that much to justify.
Oh.
They like it okay, but they don't like it enough to justify like they wouldn't enjoy it. It wouldn't be worth the expenditure. They'll be like,
or
"Oh,
you
cool."
Pick your favorite kid, right?
Sure, but I can't bring the dogs though. If only they would behave. I'll just put them in a trench coat.
Oh man.
So $20,000. That sounds insane for 2 nights. 10 grand.
That's your conservative estimate.
That's my conservative estimate. This is ridiculous. This is like the most ridiculous thing. What? Okay, so that's so much versus $750 a night. Okay, so I'm gonna divide that by 8. We're saying $2,500 per person. That's so crazy. So $1,250, right? Sorry, $2,500 by 2 nights. So we're looking at $1,250 per night per person. If you look at the standard room and you put 4 guests in it, it's $750 per night per person.
Wait, what's the room total for that one?
4.
For 4 adults?
4 adults on the standard room. Well, they're saying $750, might be a little bit more. Because that's actually 3 adults and 1 child is the number they use.
Right.
So my guess is a little bit more than that.
Per night is what you're saying.
Per night.
Gotcha.
Versus the $1,250 I just came up with per night.
Yep.
So a difference of about $500. That doesn't sound as crazy now.
It doesn't, because
And that's kind of where I got to this whole idea of this video. It's like, well, you know what? That's not if you break it down that way, then it's much more manageable. I would pay an extra $500 or so, maybe $600 or $700 more per night. Ouch. For the extra fancy Grand Cabin Suite. Because it says there's extra Star Wars surprises.
Yes, so
what does that mean?
Do you have any ideas?
I have a feeling there's got to be more story elements. There has to be specific story things that only happen to people in the Grand Captain Suite, like an extra mission or 2 that you get to go on. I don't know if that changes your seating at the dinners or anything like that, because I know they have the Grand Captain's table, but I'm sure that's going to be its own extra $1,000 or $2 dinner, like, because that's probably very exclusive. I'm guessing maybe 10 people total, like, for that thing, like maybe 2 parties out of the whole cruise get to book that, if that.
Yep.
Oh, man, I am gonna have to sell my kids. It's gonna be so expensive, but again, like,
so cool though.
That's what I'm saying though. $750 for standard or $1,250 for Grand Captain, and that's my random numbers that I've totally made up. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So let's look at what someone who you've got more knowledge on this, and you whipped up some really, really good infographics for us.
Thank you.
No, I love this. I love that you went through you did some work here. So you got the first one, you kind of go over the standard cabin on the Galactic Starcruiser. You can see kind of the same stuff I was looking at there. And I love that you compared it to the Disney Cruise Line Deluxe Family Ocean View Veranda Stateroom. The one time I did a Disney cruise, that is what we did. We did a 2-night Bahama or 3-night Bahama cruise. It was nice. It was fine. It wasn't a big room. It's a cruise ship, so they're very tiny.
Right.
And I imagine they won't be as tiny. Did they give us square footage? They did not give us square footage.
They didn't give us square footage.
I'm hoping they're bigger than a cruise ship.
I hope so. But I mean, It's kind of hard, right? Because you have bunk beds that are built into the wall.
It's
So
very,
I don't think
very
you're
much
going to
like
have
the
a lot
cruise
of
ship.
space in
Yeah.
space.
They want it to
But-
feel authentic, so.
Right? They want you like this. But so the reason I picked that cruise room or cabin to compare it to is because it sleeps 5. And so the standard cabin in the Galactic Starcruiser sleeps 5. So you have to find something comparable on the cruise line. And it's kind of tricky because you could ball out on a Disney cruise and you can get the Royal Suite and it's, oh my gosh, it's massive. But it's only, when you think about it in Galactic Starcruiser terms, it's like 16,000, like 10 to 16,000, and it's massive. You get your own jacuzzi, you get this huge balcony that's probably bigger than most of the cabins.
And that's for what, like a 3-day cruise?
For a 3-day cruise, 16,000.
I think that's the lowest they do, right?
The lowest you could do is you could put 2 people in that room. You could put 1 person in that room if you really wanted, and it's like 10,000 for the cruise.
Wow.
But it's huge. Like the dining. So
then my
you can only sleep 5
20,000
in there though.
My 20,000 for the Grand Captain doesn't sound too crazy yet.
It doesn't.
It
Except that
sounds
it's 2 nights instead of 3.
Yes, that actually, no, it does sound crazy. Another one you pulled up here was the Garden View Deluxe Studio at Alani. So that's another one you found was kind of comparable to.
Yeah, so I wanted to look at Alani as well because it is a resort, and on the cruise ships you're limited to the maximum occupancy in a room. So even that Royal Suite that we're talking about on the cruise line, 5 people. 5 people max. There's 8 seats at the dining room table, and you can only sleep 5 in there.
Wow.
So
That is strange.
in order to get better, or like more accurate occupancy sizes, we hopped over to Hawaii and looked at the room. I didn't literally, but we went over to Hawaii and looked at the rooms over there and figured out kind of similar rooms to what we're seeing at Galactic Starcruiser. Now it's interesting because Galactic Starcruiser has the top 2 rooms. They have bars. They're not calling them kitchenettes.
They do say bar. They specifically say bar area.
They say bar area.
I
they're
wonder
not calling
if
them kitchenettes.
I wonder if they're gonna have like a mini fridge with pre-mixed Galaxy's Edge drinks that you can buy. You know, like at hotels, they have like a little mini bar. You can like open it and the thing goes off, sensor goes off, and they charge you. If they had pre-mixed Galaxy's Edge drinks, I'd take them all.
Just imagine like the little paper cartons of like blue milk.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that'd be so awesome.
I would
a fuzzy
just take, I wouldn't care
tauntaun.
how much they charge me.
I'd have to take a couple.
You'd have
and
to.
like even if it was like $25 a drink, I would still be like, yeah, but I want it in the package and I need it, and I like, I'm gonna buy one to try it and buy another one to keep. that's how us crazy Star Wars collectors are. It's always buy one to open and buy one to keep in a box in your garage forever.
Yep, and then never look at it again.
Yeah.
But you have it, and that's what
what matters most. All right, so next up you got the Galaxy Class Suite. This is the mid-range.
Yep.
And so that's what we're looking at. Again, we talked about that a minute ago. 2 windows, bar area. I hope those windows are big. I hope they're like a good size. They don't look super huge in the pictures that I saw. They have like, WDI Imagineering with the hard hats on and the orange vests looking at it.
Right.
They don't look that big.
Yeah,
and
you're not going to be getting sunlight.
No, not at all.
Like, bring your vitamin D because you're going to be inside a lot.
That's true. And I wonder if like that's why it's only 2 days, so people don't get like depressed from not having, you're kind of locked in. You do get 1 day. I don't even think day is the proper, like 4 hours. Yeah. It's like 4 hours on Batuu. Which is another thing we can talk about after we get into this, because I do think that's interesting the way that all breaks down with their sample itinerary. But okay, you get a phone with voicemail messaging. That's so weird. Interactive TV.
Do you think Mickey's gonna call and wake you up?
I wonder if you can have a Star Wars character call and wake you up.
I thought about that. Like C-3PO calls you.
You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to do something like that.
Especially if you're on like a scheduled, like a set itinerary.
Yeah, because I mean, on the cruises you can do that, and the characters will give you a wake-up call. So you can definitely. It'd be funny if
it was Mickey, though.
That would be pretty fun.
Be like, wait a second, we're in space.
So the rooms that you found were similar to the mid-range Galaxy class.
Yep.
This is the concierge 1-bedroom veranda stateroom. Okay, so that's a fancy room.
It is.
That's a very fancy room, because we got just like the previous one with the veranda on it, and we loved it. We're like, this is great. I don't know how you fit another person, like a 5th person in there, I was looking at the picture
Yeah.
you had. I was like, wait, where's the fifth person go?
Yeah, I couldn't figure that
floor.
out either. But it says it sleeps 5. I was like,
Interesting.
Okay.
Now this room's a little bit
Bathtub.
bigger. You get like a couch, a seating area similar to the Galaxy class, and you also went with the ocean view, state of the art safety. It was a state of the art safety is featured in the rooms at Aulani Resort. Okay, it's just a caption.
Yeah,
Super
which
meta.
is a caption on the picture.
I was like, oh, what's the state of the art safety business?
Ooh.
Okay. So again, those are going to be the mid range ones. So you use the pricing for those to figure yours.
Right. Yep.
And the next up, we've got the Grand Captain Suite on the Galactic Starcruiser. Now this is the big one, man. 2-bedroom Grand Captain Suite offers ample room for the whole family, and features a posh living space complete with integrated seating area, which they kind of show. It looks like a little table, the little image they've got there. I love the clothes they're all wearing, too, in that sample artwork. They all have the comforts of standard cabins, plus a main suite with double vanity bathroom, second bathroom, that's huge, with a single vanity, bar area, 3 windows, and a few extra Star Wars surprises. I feel like that's what you're paying for, is those extra Star Wars surprises. There has to be, like, you have to have, like, a character show up to your door or something.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to be, I never know how to say it right,
has
if
to
it's
be
Vi or
something.
Vi. I think
Oh,
she's
Vi,
going to come in, Vi, okay. She's going to come in and be like, hey, we got to get down to the bridge. We've got to do something.
I hope she's part of this. I don't know if she's gonna
Has to be.
I don't know if
Wow,
she's. I mean,
don't
she's
know.
on Batuu. I don't know if she's gonna be, but I hope she is. I hadn't really thought of her being in it, but now that you mention it, I would really, really like to see that.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. So the comparable rooms you found were the Concierge Royal Suite Veranda Stateroom, and that's the biggest one, right? On
That's
the cruise
the
line,
big boy, yeah.
That's the big one. Okay,
So
and
I
then
tried
at
to show it
Aulani,
in the picture. You can see, like, to the left, there's the dining table, 8 chairs. It only sleeps 5, but okay. Huge couch, and then
that
out there you
veranda's
see more
massive.
seating. And then there's also like your own jacuzzi out there.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. And that costs roughly how much?
The minimum is 10,000 if you wanted to
You
just
said 10 for one.
call
and
out one person
16,000 for the 5 people.
for 5. Yeah.
So
Like,
even
that's not a
that.
bad idea either.
No, that's not bad. Get some friends. 16,000 by 5 people. 3,200 for that's a 3-day cruise. I think that's a minimum.
That's
They
a
do
3-day.
3-day.
Yep.
Okay, it's a lot, but I think that's like what we paid total for for the 4 of us to go on the standard room with veranda or whatever. And it was during this time. It was like 3 years ago, like this weekend or this,
Oh.
right around now. I see the memories pop up on my on
Oh,
Facebook
yeah.
or
And you're
whatever.
like,
For
oh, I'm at
yeah,
home.
yeah.
Thanks.
Dang it. So next we have the published pricing, which we went over. That range of 4,800 to 6,000 for the standard room. And we're going to get into your facts and assumptions here. So walk me through this.
Sure. Okay, so it is a 2-night stay at Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, unlike a cruise, which gives you 3 nights. But we do know that it is cruise-like accommodations and that you're going to get your lodging and your dining included. Like Aulani doesn't do that. Aulani is just lodging. But you do get additional benefits. So you get access to, they say Hollywood Studios. I really think if you're going, you're just going to stay on Batuu, but I guess
I agree. That's what it looks
you
like
have-
based on the itinerary.
Yeah. And then you get a guaranteed ride on Rise of Resistance, which is a big deal because previously we were using the boarding groups.
And I think
And-
Smuggler's Run as well. Not that it like needed,
You do. Yeah.
but it's included.
I mean,
just if we're
right.
talking about the benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to Batuu, you get to do Rise of Resistance, you get to do Smuggler's Run, and then you get to eat at Docking Bay 7. So those are things that we can kind of quantify, right?
Yeah.
Smuggler's Run is no fee. We don't assume that it's going to cost anything extra when Genie Plus comes out. But Rise of Resistance, more than likely, given
Will.
that it was a boarding group.
They said it will
before.
cost extra.
Okay.
They don't have a
So-
price range, so I don't know what to guess on that. But it definitely will cost extra if you want to use Lightning Lane for that.
Right. So Disneyland Paris actually utilizes a cost to ride approach right now. And so it's euros. So you kind of have to do some math, but it's basically anywhere from like $8 to $15 is what it equates to in American dollars.
Okay. So I would
Guessing that
imagine
it's going to be like,
the highest end of that.
Rise of Resistance is going to be $15
Yeah.
per person. So you can put some prices around some of these things. You can put a price around a park ticket for the day. You can put a price around what dining plan used to cost
Okay.
when they were doing the dining plan. And what else? That's about it. I mean, so if you look at those things, just the dining plan for 2 days, a 1-day ticket to Hollywood Studios and riding Rise of Resistance for an adult, that's like $362.
Oh,
So there's some things that we can kind of like back into in the price.
Yeah.
Because that's the nicest dining plan, because I think you're going to be doing sit-down meals the
Oh,
entire
for every
time
meal.
until you
Okay.
go to Batuu. And you're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
alcohol included.
I thought alcohol was an additional charge. Oh, on Batuu, one alcoholic drink is included. But
Okay,
in
yeah,
the
on
in the
Batuu.
actual ship, on the Star Cruiser, I believe they said alcohol was an extra upcharge.
Possibly. It's kind of weird the way they have it in the fine print, right?
Yeah, it is. But I do remember specifically for the excursion to Batuu, because they say it's like you get a voucher or something for one meal at Docking
Right.
Bay plus one alcoholic beverage. It specifically says
Yep.
one alcoholic beverage. But I do believe alcohol is going to be an upcharge on the ship.
Yeah. So it could be. Or I think you're right there. But we do get at least one drink.
Yeah,
I think we get unlimited blue milk. Did I see that somewhere?
I would guess on ship they'd have unlimited blue milk.
That's
But
what
I
I'm
don't know
thinking on
about-
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about on Batuu though. But yeah, on the
Wouldn't that
ship,
be
I could see
wonderful?
that. It would be. It'd be awesome. It's where I'd live for those 4 hours.
Yeah.
You could bring my mission to me here at the Blue Milk Stand. Thank you very much.
You just have one of those big like jugs that they have.
The helmet,
hanging.
the double helmet, yeah. But so on the cruise though, they have like the unlimited ice cream all the time. That's like a big cruise thing, I guess. Is the ice cream
Yeah.
machines use self serve, soft serve, whatever. I would imagine they have blue milk, green milk like that
Like on tap.
on tap, yeah, just
Wouldn't
like
that be
ready to go.
wonderful?
That'd be pretty cool.
And it's dairy free, so no tummy aches.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I could wrangle a tummy ache out of that much blue milk, I'm sure. All right, so you've got a cruise pricing breakdown per person.
Yep.
I like your graphic here with Mando and the child. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So I like the okay. So the first two adults 100%. That's what we know, the base price that they provided us. So
Yeah.
that's 100%. The third adult or child is half of the adult cost added on.
Right.
so
So,
it's
if you're just
150%.
traveling 2 people, we can use an example. We'll use example numbers. If you're traveling 2 people on a cruise ship, let's say they charge you $1,000 each. So that's your 100% price. If you're bringing a kid with you, they're going to charge $500 for that kid. Or if you're 3 adults in a room, that third adult is going to be charged $500.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're similar to the Galactic Starcruiser pricing, where they gave us 3 adults and 1 kid, first 2 adults are going to be the 100%, $1,000. The third adult's going to be 50% or $500, and then that kid is going to be 95% of the third adult.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it works out to what, like 450, 470, 475? I don't know.
yeah.
Math is not my strong suit without Excel or a calculator.
Gotcha. No, okay, that makes sense though. I get that. So next
using
up,
this structure, we can like try to
figure
push
out.
towards our guess, right?
Yes. Yeah. All right. So next you've got to break down by room type, which
Yes,
I
so-
like this. As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, this clicks. This makes perfect sense.
So this is important because we have 3 different rooms. And so on a cruise ship or at Alani, there are a lot more options for room types.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you kind of have to like take a best guess of what's similar to Galactic Starcruiser in terms of occupancy, the bed types, because we're in bunk beds in space.
Like if I find 7 other friends to split that grand captain suite with, I'm fine sleeping on a bunk bed. Okay, I'm putting that out there. I will curl up. I won't be in that bed much anyways. I'm going to be roaming around all night with a camera,
yeah.
like taking in everything.
Oh yeah.
So it's
here's the
fine.
crazy
I'll
thing,
take the bunk
too.
bed.
It's like there's no king beds.
That's true. It's a
There's
queen,
no
right?
king beds. It's a queen. Even on the cruise ships, there's no king beds.
Wow, even the grand
Isn't that
veranda concierge, whatever.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
No, it's 2 queen beds.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that strange?
That is strange. It's not enough.
So, yeah. So trying to find similar rooms between Disney Cruise Line and Alani, because like I said, on a cruise ship, the maximum occupancy for a room is 5. And on Galactic Starcruiser, we can go up to 8 in the Grand Captain Suite. So trying to get the max from a cruise ship and then a similar room from Alani, if you're using a standard room, so we're looking at the standard cabin on Galactic Starcruiser, we're going to say that's 100%. If you're going up to the 1-bedroom suite or that Galaxy class suite option, it's probably going to be about 171% of that smaller room.
A little less than double.
Yeah, not too crazy. And you get some Star Wars extras in there.
Yeah.
But then when you go to the Grand Captain Suite or the Royal Suite or the big 3-bedroom villa in Alani, it's about 424% of the standard cabin.
So 4 times, a little more than 4 times the price.
This is on average.
Wow.
Yeah, it's big.
So
I
we take that
it here just so we can see like how big it actually gets.
So then I'm going to apply that to this again. I'm still just like live guessing right now. We're going to say 4 times the amount, and we're going to take that range of 4,800 to 6,000. So 6,000 times 4, $24,000. That's 4,000 more than my guess because I was saying about 20, and I think that sounds like so much. So we've moved up a little bit. We're saying 24,000 per maxed out trip for now. You still have your number coming up. I just want to run that real quick. 24,000 by 8. So we're now $3,000 per person for 2 days. So $1,500 a night per person, which is still what's that? $800 more per person per day now. Yeah. Okay, that's a lot. I don't know if 800. That's a lot per day. Per day, that's a lot per day. Okay, and we're not even there yet. Next up, I love the next slide that you came up with so much. So we have the Death Star, the standard cabin at $6,000, and then you went with Death Star 2, of course, the Galaxy class suite, which we're guessing. We don't have pricing on that. We're guessing based on your numbers above. 8,223, and that would be max occupancy.
That's max. That's max occupancy.
And so that does put you at 25,000 for the Grand Captain Suite. I love that it's Starkiller base. It just reminds me of that scene on Force Awakens when they show it.
That's exactly when I was like, I did the circles, and then I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is going to be a missed opportunity if I don't do this.
No, I love it. When I looked at it last night, I was laughing. I was like, this is great. I love this. So 25,000 is your guess.
Yeah.
Just over 25,000.
Yeah. So initially I thought 20,000 like you.
Okay.
Because I was looking at 2 adults in a standard room and then extrapolating from there. But if you're maxing out, and the best guess we can max out at is the 6,000 with 3 adults and a kid.
Yeah.
On a standard view or standard cabin. So going from that to the Grand Captain Suite, maxed out 8 people, $25,000.
25 big ones, man.
Mm-hmm. And if you were to do it based on like the cruise line pricing, it's so gross to say it. It's $4,000 each for the first 2 people, and then the other 6 would be $2,000 for the 2 nights. So down to $2,000 a night and $1,000 a night. But you're not going to do that. If you're going 8 adults, you're not going to be like, well, you guys
you get the queen bed
first. You're going
you have to pay more.
Charge you double.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But.
Yeah.
And that is something interesting to think about if there are people out there who are trying to do it this way and want to stay at the big fancy Captain Suite and want to split it up. You don't all get the same experience because you don't all get the same beds. So some of you are going to be on the bunk bed. So, when you break up that pricing that way, someone should probably pay a little bit more than the person curled up on the bunk bed.
Yeah, although I think the bunk beds actually look pretty cool.
They do.
Like
I don't know.
True bunk beds that are in the wall.
Yeah, the ones that are in the hole in the wall. They do look cool.
Yeah, those look cool. The ones that you just like pull down from the wall. They say if it's an adult, and they have pull down beds the Disney resorts. So
yeah. Man. So standard adult price $2,405 per person, right? Yeah, $1,200.
Right. So if you were to stay 2 adults in a standard cabin, which is the most expensive that it will be
per person,
yeah, that's the least amount that they are expecting to get out of that room is the $4,800. So you're going to be spending $2,400 a person.
Wow.
But for just $700 more,
And see, like it sounds ridiculous and it's a lot, but it's. I mean, if you're already spending it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to justify it to myself in my mind. How do I do? I don't need both my kidneys, do I? Like, I'll be fine with one.
Yeah, I think so. I think
3,100 Grand Captain Suite adult price is your educated guess.
That's my guess. Yeah. It's a lot of money. It's
It is.
a lot of money.
And again, that's for the whole thing per person.
For the whole thing per person, yeah. Yeah, for the 2 nights, it's
nights.
$3,100. But here's the thing that I think sets Galactic Starcruiser apart from, say, a cruise. Some families cruise every single year. Galactic Starcruiser, I think, is going to be something that people do once every 5, 6, 7, 10 years. So this is almost like, and maybe you just do it once.
Yeah, it might be.
You can only afford to go one time, and you're saving up for 5 years to get to this point. I mean, this is like a once in a lifetime trip, once in a lifetime experience that you're going to have. And I think they're going to make it that way. I think it's going to be incredible.
I think it is too. Just with the details, everything I've seen in the concept artwork, and I've looked at a lot of this stuff. Just all the details pouring over them. It looks like it's going to be pretty amazing. Now, I want to stay optimistic and hope that it doesn't, the same thing doesn't happen to it that happened to Galaxy's Edge, because we were promised a lot with Galaxy's Edge. Even 2 months before it opened, we were promised a lot at Star Wars Celebration in 2019, in April of 19, and then it opens in May at Disneyland of May of 19, and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't there that they had just talked about being there. So I really, really want to stay positive and hope that this Galactic Starcruiser, for the money that we're guessing it's going to cost, I hope it's worth it. I hope they understand that and really, really, really do make it worth it.
I hope so too. And I know initially when they started talking about Galactic Starcruiser, it was kind of implied that costumes were going to be provided.
It was. They said costumes would be provided.
And now it's very clear that they're not. But
they will be for sale.
Easily go on Shop Disney or buy them on the ship.
Now, I do wonder if they're going to have the same selection on ship as they would Shop Disney. Because the pictures they use look very fancy and like nothing we've seen before. You know, so I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't do both. I'm sure there's some people who don't want to wait to buy their clothes till they get there. So it would make sense to have them on Shop Disney. I wonder if there's going to be like a specific portal for people who've booked. Like if you have a booking. I don't think
there's going to. I think you're basically like, if you want to buy this is a Galactic Starcruiser exclusive. And so if you don't buy it, that's it. Right? Because then you're enticed to buy it there.
Yeah, that is true.
Then I'll do it too.
I know. I'm like, there's a good account on Instagram called Gabercrete, and they make custom vests and jackets. They're booked out for the year, so I have to wait like another year to get one. But they look so good. So I'm gonna go all out. Whenever I end up booking this thing, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna dress up every day.
You have to. Even you have to. Clothes, even if nobody's gonna see it.
If you're spending that much money, you have to go
PJs.
Big.
You have to.
Yeah. You got to go big the whole time. Like I'm literally not going to sleep. I'm going to stay up, and I'm notorious for doing this all the time, going 2-3 days with no sleep, especially for a Disney trip. Well, they did like the 24-hour day a couple years ago, and I was so excited I couldn't sleep the night before, and I had to drive. So I went for like 4 days with no sleep for that thing.
Oh my god.
It was insane. Yeah, I was so delirious by the end. But I'm going to be like that for this. Don't worry, I slept before I drove home.
Transporting you to and from.
Yeah, I don't have to do any driving or operate any heavy machinery, hopefully. So.
Just don't fall asleep like face down in your.
Oh my goodness! Wouldn't that be the worst? That'd be the worst. Just sleep and miss the whole thing.
You just pass out halfway through.
Man, and you know what's crazy? We're saying 3 days. It's not even 3 days. You get in at like between 1 and 3 o'clock. It's not even 2 full days. Not even 48 whole hours.
No,
they kick you off. It's like 46 hours or something like that.
Yeah, I think you arrive at 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
The first day, and then you have that whole day. The next day you spend about half the day on Batuu, so you're not even really on the ship. You're just doing things that you could do on a regular trip. And then I think they kick you out by like 9. 10?
I think so. I think it said 10, 9 or 10, something like that.
It's pretty early.
Let me see if I can pull up that itinerary.
So we're all going to be like you. None of us are going to be sleeping the whole time.
10 a.m. Yeah, so day 3, and this is the sample itinerary. I'm guessing things might change, but breakfast is from 8:30 to 9:30. Like, what if you're not an early riser? And then launch pod to terminal 9:30 to 10 a.m. and you're out. Like, so most hotels are at least 11.
Do you think they're going to turn it around so that they're ready by 1 p.m. that same day for the next group?
100 rooms? So? Yeah.
I mean, think so. Yeah, you're right. It's 100 rooms. They can
10 a.m. till 1 p.m. And, you know, I'm guessing if you get there at 1 p.m., you probably don't have access to your room for a little while. Like, when I did the cruise, it was a similar thing. We got there early, and we got on the ship. They're like, hey, we've taken your bags. They'll be put in your room when it's ready, and we'll let you know when the room's ready. So we just wandered around the ship for a couple hours. So even though, you know, I'm guessing this is going to be similar. You get in at 1, or I think between 1 and 3 are when all the pods to the Starcruiser launch. So you have that little window. But between that time, you're probably not going to get to your room until after ship orientation, which they have from 1:45 till 2:15. So I'm sure it's like...
And then you also have like a muster, I think.
There's going to be a muster drill, yeah. But that looks like... And this one, it's later from 4 to 4:30. They put in sabak lessons and refreshments before that. So I think somewhere in the orientation, light refreshments area, like the first two hours of the experience, they're going to keep you kind of busy, and then they'll let you go to your room later, is my guess. And that gives them time to prep all the rooms. I've seen people who are assuming it would be rotating, that there would be new guests in all the time, and I don't think that makes any sense because it's so story-driven. You wouldn't want people coming in on the tail end of a story, you know, in the middle of it. So I think it is going to be blocked out where those 46 hours... Like a cruise, exactly. Just like a cruise. Oh, man, it's going to be interesting. I also wonder with the story elements, where they say story moment. For example, you might prove your mettle and join an elite smuggling ring or hide a stowaway to help the resistance. I wonder how scheduled that is, because it kind of ruins it a little bit.
Unexpected story moment. Yeah,
it's like I'm gonna have to expect that between 7:30 and 8. Something could happen.
My question: if you're traveling with a group, what if one of you wants to be with the Resistance and one of you wants to be with the First Order, or are you forced to pick as a room?
That is something I wondered too, and I don't know. Like, because it would make sense for your room to have one allegiance.
To all be together. I think it would be really cool to experience both sides of it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, basically, like, if you're picking one side or the other, you're getting a completely different experience than the other side is.
Yep.
Maybe that's the play.
And they've even said you could play all sides, kind of. If you want, you could change midway. I don't know how any of that's going to work. I just wonder...
Well, you can do that on the data pad.
True.
You can. You can just do all the jobs.
You can.
But I'm hoping this is more structured than that.
Yeah.
Instead of just clicking through.
I hope so too. I also wonder what that changes for your time on Batuu. Because it says, like, on their sample, they want you to do Rise of Resistance first. It says they get you to the shuttle to Batuu first thing in the morning, 8:15, 8:25. By 8:45, you're on Rise of Resistance.
I think the Rise of Resistance is prior to park opening. I think that's how they're going to get everybody through there.
I think so too, but I also imagine it being staggered. Like, if there's 100 groups, well, let's say 100 rooms, and they have shuttles.
Say 400 people, right?
Let's say 400 people. That makes sense. 400 people. One of those shuttles probably holds 20, 30, maybe?
It depends. Well, doesn't it look like just a regular Disney bus?
It looks kind of like a Disney bus. The inside's going to be all themed out and everything. But the seating...
Do you want to know how many people a Disney bus can hold?
Enlighten me.
150 people.
Really?
150.
I mean, that's like butts to nuts, like standing like sardines, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
That's pretty wild though, right?
That is crazy. Yeah, that's a ton of people.
I know.
I don't imagine they're going to...
on it, and I was like, no.
I don't imagine they're going to cram people like that. But I would think 30 or so people per shuttle.
I could see 50.
50.
I could see 50.
Okay. So do you think also the launch pod, the elevators or whatever, when you get there,
Right.
What the occupancy do you think that is? Like the artwork makes it look like, oh, there's only 2 people in here right now. Of course, they're going to cram more than that in there. But I wonder,
So
is it going to be
you,
per party?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so either.
Have you seen the launch elevator for Space 220, the new restaurant at Epcot?
I haven't looked at details, but I know what you're talking about. That the new
So it's
space
kind of
restaurant.
similar. So there's like a screen below and a screen above, and you can you're
That's
like in
right.
a donut
You
configuration,
leave
and you can
Earth.
look up and down. Yeah. So that one, it looked like I mean, they had room to probably fit 30 people, but
Okay.
they've got it just like 8 to 10 people in there, so it looks nice and spacious.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be cramming us in, and I think we're just going to be cool with it because we're all just going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Like if I can get a booking for the first day, I mean, no matter when, it's just still going to be everybody with their cameras, like trying to catch every moment.
Right.
It's a funny world we live in. Yeah.
It is. My husband and I were talking about it, like how much of it do we try to capture so that we can use it like for content, and how much do we just put our phones down and just do our lightsaber training?
So speaking of lightsaber training, one thing we didn't talk about was add-ons. Mm-hmm. They've said that there's going to be droid building on the ship. So there's another $100 if you want to build a droid. I'm hoping.
So is it droid building or droid racing, or is it both?
They did say droid races, but Scott Trowbridge in one of the recent Disney World videos where they sat down round table was mentioning you can build a droid. So both. I think you can build it, and then if you want to sign up for races later, you can also do that, which sounds cool.
That's gonna be so cute. Ugh.
Right? I mean,
it's like racing the droids.
I love the droids. Like that's kind of my jam. I run the Mubo's Droid Builders Club group. In fact, we're doing a live.
Bring your own.
That's the other part. I want to bring them with me. Yeah. They're co-hosts in a way, you know.
You're gonna be that guy with like all your slings of droids,
lightsabers, droids. Oh no.
You're gonna mess up the capacity.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's going to be so fun, though. But yeah, there are extras. So you have the captain's table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming things like lightsaber training, sabacc lessons.
I imagine that's free and comes with it. But if you want to buy a lightsaber, maybe not the fancy one that extends, I think that's only going to be Rey who uses that one. And we'll see it on the grand finale. Use it. You think we'll use that same... I don't imagine we will. I mean, hopefully we will. Don't
crush my dreams, please.
I mean, I hope so. Like that would be nice.
I think that's what they're going to use for the lightsaber training.
I hope so.
Because you're not making contact with anything, right?
No, you're not. And you're really what they said is you're going to be able to feel the Force somehow. So I wonder if maybe the hilt vibrates or something to tell you when to deflect the blaster. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work, but I think it's going to be really cool. The training seems really cool. I mean, the little remote's going to be blasting at you, and you're going to...
It's going to be so much fun.
That's so cool. But they're going to sell you a lightsaber. You can't have a Galactic Starcruiser and not have them sell you some kind of lightsaber. But I don't imagine it's going to be that one from the training or the one that Rey uses. It's probably going to be a Galaxy's Edge one, but something maybe specific to Galactic Starcruiser. Similar with the droid. I hope that they have exclusive Galactic Starcruiser droid pieces.
I think you're spot on with that. I think they're definitely, at every opportunity they can, they're going to push Galactic Starcruiser exclusive merchandise.
Yeah, and they do that on the cruise.
Wardrobe. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, that was I still have so much stuff with just Disney Cruise Line branding on it, and I'm like, the only reason I bought it is because it says Disney Cruise Line, and I don't know when I'm going to go on one of these again.
Get it on the cruise.
Yeah. So, same thing with Galactic Starcruiser. It's going to be just like that. Also, there's going to be added drinks, so that you can add on fancy drinks. I'm sure you can add on, fancy foods, too. There's probably going to be some, crazy additional bigger foods or bigger dessert presentations you can do. I remember on
a dessert party or something, or going to a special lounge.
On the cruise, it was, I forget why. It was... because it was right around my birthday, but for some reason we got this for my son. But they had it Vanellope von Schweet's Sweet Factory, whatever. I went and I got this giant Wreck-It Ralph trophy filled with 12 scoops of ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
I picked it out and ordered it, and it was an upcharge thing. And they brought it out to us at dinner. And it was like a neat. So I'm sure there's going to be stuff like that where you can go to like the Star Wars candy shop or whatever they have on ship and order stuff to be brought out to dinner. But I wonder what else those add-ons are, because typically a cruise will have, you can go swimming with dolphins when you get to the port, or you can do, this kind of tour, or you can do this kind of thing. I just wonder what else they have in mind. Build a model ship. Is that going to be something that's an upcharge, I wonder?
And like what size?
Yeah, is it like one of those little
How
Revel?
cool is it going to be? Like, am I going to be wanting to do that, or am I going to want to be like drinking as much blue milk as I can during that time?
I mean, they're blocking it out as 30 minutes, so I don't know how cool the model's going to be if you only have 30 minutes.
Right? Is it like Legos?
It might be. It might be. Maybe that's Maybe that's something like just for kids. But they do like the in the Resistance area on Batuu, they do sell the model kits, or they have the die-cast smaller ships. But in the First Order, they sell model kits for some of the First Order. When they're just repackaged Revell models that you would find at like Michael's or Joann's or whatever. So I wonder if it's just that, like, snap-together models of specific ships.
It could be.
I'm trying to think what else. There's Cocktails Sublight Lounge. Again, upcharge for every one of those cocktails. And I'm going to have to try them all.
You have to.
Anything because that they don't have at Oga's, I'm going to have to try. Yeah. Like, I have to.
And are they going to have something cool like the Rancor flight where you get to take home the Rancor teeth? Like,
they better. Now the food does look really cool. The food pictures they put out, the weird blue shrimp and all the it looks a little funky. It looks funky,
it looks like space though.
I gotta try it. Yeah, if they're going that hard on those details for the food, oh man, I hope the story and I hope the entertainment and all of it, and even the clothing. Like I'm looking at the picture of the clothing. The guy wearing it's a gray Jedi. It looks like a Jedi tunic, but it's not a Jedi tunic. It's a little different than a Jedi tunic, but it's very spacey. It looks like something. Have you ever seen Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone? I'll say it looks like what they put. Big
trench thing.
Kind of. It's like a weird. I don't know. They put him in this weird, like almost like a karate gi. And it looks very much like that. But then the woman in the picture, she's wearing basically Leia's outfit from A New Hope, the white. So I wonder if it's going to be.
How far are they going to let us go with our costumes?
I hope. Florida seems to be way more lax about it than Disneyland. In Anaheim, they don't let you do a whole lot of costuming. But Florida, from what I've seen, and cast members on Reddit have come out and said, no, we want you guys to go all out, go crazy. I've seen people with full face makeup, horns, Zabrak horns, like Darth Maul has, full face makeup, like fully dressed up, boots, gauntlets. Like, I'm like, wow, you guys could do whatever down there. So I'm going to have to book a trip one day.
But, like, if you want to dress like an alien, can you? Like, if I wanted to dress up like Ahsoka Tano
and go full on like
and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't sleep if I have to do all that makeup every day, but
right. I don't know. Because
and how do you know who's a guest and who works there?
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Yeah, I don't know.
But if you're spending that much money, man,
you had better be able to.
You can't show up in a shirt that's a Star Wars.
No way.
No, you can't. You have
to.
It's
only the 3 days or 2 days, whatever. Right. The 46 hours.
The best 46 hours of your life.
It had better be for 3,100. Whatever was it? 3,100 a person. Again, that's the highest end, maxing out, and it's just a guess. But I think we're on to something on this price.
I think so too. I'm very curious. They should be releasing full pricing, and
I'm surprised we're not able to book yet. Yeah, I would think any day now, because we're 6 months out from March, and they said spring.
They said spring, which could be as late as June.
Could be as early as February.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I thought for sure because they released news once a week, like the first 2 or 3 weeks of August.
Yeah. I thought they were going to, end of the month, they're going to.
Exactly. I was like, end of the month, we're booking. So I'm reaching out to people. I'm like, hey, I know you're a big Star Wars fan. Do you want on this list for when bookings start opening up? Like, do you want me to quote you out and book you a trip? And here we are, middle of September.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to happen. Like, hopefully they don't just drop it on us. Like, oh, bookings are live today, and everyone has to scramble, and, like, hopefully they announce it and they give us, like, a week, or, bookings go live next Tuesday, something like that, where we can, like, prep and organize a little bit better and, like, get because I know, like, when I go, I'm gonna have to go with a group of people. Like my wife doesn't care too much to go. She's like, no, it's a waste for her to go. My kids, they just want to play video games and stay at home. So I'm gonna be going with other friends who are just as nerdy about this stuff as I am.
7 adults.
I need seven adult friends, gainfully employed, who
may have to share a queen bed.
That's fine. That's why you can. Maybe we'll do an extra adult. You can sleep with me on the bunk bed.
At a discount.
Yeah. Can you fit in my luggage?
Yeah, I think they're going to give us time, though, because anytime, like, especially now that we've seen with Disney World, so there's over 30 resorts at Disney World, and they're still not all reopened since the closing last year.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, so I think we still have about 3 or 4 that they finally have reopening dates, and you can book them.
And when you say 30, that's all brands, not just Disney? Or is that just Disney?
Disney-owned and operated resorts.
Just Disney resorts. I had no idea there was 30.
It's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot.
Wow.
But they've given us ample time to say, hey, you know, let me see, like Port Orleans French Quarter, they're opening in October, and they told us this 2 months ago. So we have time to start booking them. And and they say bookings are going to open 2 or 3 weeks from now. So they're giving us that time.
And that when you say us, you mean as a travel agent? You get a heads up, or just publicly to everybody?
They're releasing it. Yeah, publicly to everybody.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, us, the collective
fandom,
Disney, community.
Gotcha. Okay, so as a travel agent, though, you don't get any heads up or any early.
No. So typically we'll get like webinars and things like that maybe aren't released to the public, but it's mostly the same information that they're releasing publicly. So I have no secrets for you to share on Galactic Starcruiser. I wish I did.
But you did provide a ton of really good insights on all of this regarding the pricing. So I appreciate that and appreciate you.
This was fun.
Spending the time and hanging out and speculating for a bit.
My husband, I was like, well, now I want to go on a cruise and stay at this royal suite and a launch.
Right, now all those other ones, all of that seems nice and affordable, kind of. Yeah, it's wild. Right? It's wild.
Yeah, my husband's like, that's all relative. He's like, work from $0, and he's like, that's a lot of money.
It is. It's insane. $25,000 for the Grand Captain Suite is your final guess. And I think you're onto something. I think you're going to be right. That's so much. I'm going to be very curious. You're going to be the first person I message when the pricing comes out. Please, yeah.
It's just going to be high fives. Like, we did it.
Awesome.
Like, it's gross, but we did it.
We're not happy about this, but we were right.
Tears rolling down our cheeks. We were right.
All right, well, let everybody know where they can get a hold of you and where they can find you online.
Yeah, so I am on Instagram and TikTok at Sara J Mac. I am a travel agent for Carry On the Magic Vacations, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Carry On the Magic or at our website, carryonthemagic.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out and doing this.
Thank you for inviting me on. This was super fun to try to make a best guess at what we think this is going to cost.
Right.